provision for the poor. Okay, let's go on to verse 34 all the way down. Saints in Jerusalem, say with me, poor saints. Turn to your neighbor and say, poor saints. The poor among the saints. Isn't it right? Did Paul say poor among the saints? Now, is this surprising to you? Is that surprise? Isn't it true that we so often think that, if you are a believer of the gospel of grace, so you do not believe in, you believe in prosperity gospel, and therefore every Christian is a millionaire, and therefore we all believe that when we buy a number, we will strike first prize, and we have free bungalow and free trips to London, all expense paid. We shall have food in the daytime, in the morning time, in between lunch, meal time, and all the time we have plenty to eat and plenty clothes to wear, and plenty holidays to go, and over again, and layer after layer again. I hope this brings some sense of sobriety. There were poor among the saints. Okay. They were pleased to do it. Say with me, please. See, giving for Grace Christian is always giving cheerfully, not giving grudgingly. There is a long debate on the tithes. I do not want to preach today, otherwise it will take me another 3.5 years. But I want to make a comment here. When you give your tithes and you give grudgingly, it's better not to give. When you give any amount, give cheerfully, for this is in the new covenant. In the new covenant, it's always giving cheerfully. Therefore, if you're giving 10% and it brings a lot of sorrow, do not be obligated. Why? There is no condemnation. But if you want me to preach a series of sermons, please be prepared for 3.5 years. But suffice for us to make a strong comment based on this reference that when they gave cheerfully. Do I have an amen? Amen. No compulsion, no obligation, not giving out of guilt like some churches will do when it comes to fundraising for building, and they say if you don't give, you'll be stricken with disease. And they'll curse you on the pulpit. How strange and how far we have been removed from the time like Paul. For the gospel of grace is all about freedom. Amen. Indeed, they owe it to them, for if the Gentiles have shared in the Jews' spiritual blessings, they owe it to the Jews to share with them their material blessings. So after I've completed this task, and have made sure that they have received this fruit, say me fruit. What is this fruit? Contribution. Fruit is a contribution. Contribution is a fruit. I will go to Spain. Can you hear the young ones are also imitating me? I will go to Spain and visit you on the way. Now look at me. Paul says, I will go to Spain. The problem is, he didn't get to go. Yet he said, I will go to Spain. Are you with me here? You see, the desire is there, but sometimes God will say, enough. Your time is well spent. You have lived your life to the fullest. No wonder towards the end of Paul's life, Paul said, I fought the good fight, I finished the race. But people can remind you and say, oh, what finished the race? You say, I will go to Spain. Paul said, I finished the race, so Spain for you to go. and visit you on the way. I know that when I come to you, I will come in the full measure of the blessings of Christ. I urge you, brothers, by our Lord Jesus Christ. And we go on further, 34 onwards, all the way down. 30, 31. And by the love of the Spirit, join me in my struggle by praying to God for me. Say with me, praying to God for me. So why is Paul writing this letter to the church in Rome? It's also to solicit prayers. Are you with me? Okay. So say, pray with me. Join me in my struggle. Say with me, join me in my struggle. By praying to God for me. Pray that I may be rescued from the unbelievers in Judea, and that my service in Jerusalem may be acceptable to the saints there. Listen. He said, pray that I may be rescued from the unbelievers in Judea and Jerusalem. Are you with me? What happened we just read in Acts? He got arrested. But the Bible tells us that the unbelievers were trying to kill him. So was he rescued? Yes. He was delivered by those so-called self-appointed murderers. He didn't die. He was rescued. And Paul says, because of your prayer, you prayed for me and my life was spared. Are you with me? So our prayer is very important. It rescues Paul and it can spare life. Amen. So Paul was in Jerusalem and he was arrested, but there was danger. Paul knew. He asked them to pray, so that by God's will I may come to you with joy, and together with you be refreshed. And he did went there, and he did went there with joy, because in the book of Philippians, look at me, in the book of Philippians, Paul wrote that in the prison in Rome. Can you see the whole perspective? And in the letter to the Philippian church, Paul wrote it in prison in Rome, and Paul said, rejoice in the Lord always, and again I say, rejoice. And he had 2 chains, one in the hand, the other on the leg, and he said, rejoice in the Lord always, and again I say to you, rejoice. And those who came, visited him, the Bible says, they were all refreshed. Amen. Paul refreshed them instead of they coming to refresh Paul. I may come to you with joy, together with you be refreshed. The God of peace be with you all. Amen. Amen.